Hello everyone, my companions on this life journey. Have you ever felt that there's an invisible wall between generations? Whether it's in the workplace, within the family, or even on social media, we often hear about the differences between General Z millennials and General X like Gen Z being obsessed with social media. Millennials, addicted to coffee and avocado toast, and Gen X being rigid, outdated. These stereotypes, sometimes woven from jokes, can also become real barriers, making it difficult for us to communicate, understand each other, and miss many valuable opportunities. Today, we're going to tear down those walls of stereotypes, explore interesting facts about each generation, and more importantly, find out the secrets to effective connection, so that General Z millennials and Gen X can learn, grow, and build a better world together. Exactly as our title suggests, Gen Z millennial, Gen X. Don't let stereotypes stop you from connecting. Breaking down generational stereotypes is extremely important for both young and middle-aged people in the U.S. for many practical and scientific reasons. First, in the workplace, multi-generational collaboration is key to innovation and productivity. Studies from Harvard Business Review and Deloitte have shown that companies with generationally diverse workforces often achieve better business results. Thanks to the combination of experience, Gen X, adaptability, millennials, and innovative thinking, Gen Z. When stereotypes are removed, collaboration becomes more effective, leading to shared success. Second, within families, understanding and connection between generations is the foundation of happiness and stability. A Pew Research Center study indicates that families with open communication between generations tend to have higher life satisfaction and fewer conflicts. Grandparents, parents, children, and grandchildren understanding and respecting each other creates a positive nurturing environment. Third, at a societal level, stereotypes can lead to division and lack of empathy. In a diverse society like the U.S., it's essential for generations to learn how to connect and respect differences to build a cohesive and progressive community. Social psychology has proven that reducing prejudice through intergroup contact and mutual understanding, intergroup contact theory, enhances empathy and cooperation. Therefore, exploring this topic is not just an interesting conversation but also a practical step towards a more inclusive and stronger society. So, how can we overcome stereotypes so that General Z millennials and Gen X can truly connect? Let's delve into each aspect. First, let's talk about unpacking stereotypes, understanding each generation accurately. We often hear generalizations about each generation, but in reality, each generation has diverse characteristics and no one is exactly alike. Why is unpacking stereotypes important? Because stereotypes are oversimplifications. They prevent us from seeing the individual value of each person. When we understand that each generation has its own unique experiences, values, and approaches to life, rather than a fixed mold, we become more open to connecting. For example, Gen Z is often labeled as social media obsessed, but in reality, they are a highly socially conscious generation, more concerned with environmental and social justice issues than any previous generation. Millennials might be accused of job hopping, but they are actually the generation that values work meaning and work-life balance, unwilling to tolerate disrespectful work environments. Gen X is sometimes considered silent or tech-averse, But they are the generation that witnessed and experienced the most technological changes, and are very resilient and independent. Work, family. At work, a Gen X might think Gen Z is too quick to quit because they don't want to work overtime. But in reality, Gen Z values work efficiency during regular hours and personal balance more. In a family, a millennial might find their parents, Gen X, old-fashioned for not understanding dating apps. But their parents bring stability and valuable life experience. Concrete action. Take time to learn about the historical, technological, and cultural events that shaped each generation. Read in-depth research or articles from reputable organizations, like Pew Research Center, Gallup, instead of just believing memes or online jokes. Remember that within each generation, there are diverse individuals, and we should not generalize everyone. Next, let's talk about common language, communicating with respect and genuine listening. One of the biggest barriers between generations is different communication styles. Gen Z might prefer emojis and short videos. Gen X might prefer emails and phone calls. But the core remains respect and listening. Why is this important? Because communication is the only bridge for us to understand others' thoughts, feelings, and needs. When we communicate with respect, we open the door to trust. And when we listen genuinely, we will discover common ground, core values that transcend generational boundaries. For example, a Gen X manager might feel frustrated when their Gen Z employee responds with a thumbs up on Slack instead of a full email. Instead of criticizing, try saying, "I understand you like using Slack, but for this important information, I need an email for better record keeping." Or a millennial shares photos of their children on social media. Gen X parents might worry about privacy. Instead of arguing, explain why you do it and listen to their concerns. Work, family. At home, a Gen Z child might only communicate with parents, Gen X, Boomer, via text messages, while parents prefer face-to-face conversations. Instead of forbidding, try setting a "no phones at dinner" rule to create space for conversation. At work, a millennial might find Gen X too traditional for not wanting to use new team collaboration tools. Try taking the time to guide or explain their benefits instead of forcing it. Concrete action. When communicating with someone from a different generation, proactively adjust your communication style slightly. Take time to listen without interrupting. Try to understand their perspective, even if you don't agree. Ask open-ended questions to encourage them to share more. Then, let's explore common ground, finding connecting values and goals. Although born at different times, each generation shares core values and goals, such as the desire for happiness, success, a meaningful life, or safety for their family. Why is finding common ground important? Because when we focus on what connects us rather than what divides us, we build bridges of understanding and cooperation. It helps us realize that, although the means or expressions may differ, humans always desire similar values. For example, a Gen Z might be interested in creating social impact through community projects. A millennial might focus on a meaningful career, and a Gen X might prioritize financial stability and family. Although the approaches differ, they all aim for a better life, a more sustainable future. Work, family. At work, a Gen Z and a Gen X might have different views on how to approach a project, but both want the project to succeed. Focus on that common goal. In a family, regardless of generation, everyone wants their children to be happy and successful. Make that a common ground to guide together. Concrete action. In conversations, try to understand what truly matters to others. Their dreams, fears, and what they want to achieve. Share your core values and look for similarities. Whether it's shared hobbies, music, sports, travel, or larger goals, environmental protection, community development, work on them together. And also, let's talk about mentor and mentee. The power of mutual learning. Instead of viewing each generation as an island, let's see them as valuable resources to learn from. Gen Z can teach Millennials and Gen X about technology, new trends, and flexible thinking. Conversely, Millennials and Gen X can share life experiences, soft skills, and perseverance in their careers. Why is mutual learning important? Because it not only helps each individual grow but also builds respect and connection. When you are willing to learn from others, you send a message that you value their knowledge and experience, creating a positive collaborative environment. For example, a Gen Z can teach a Gen X how to use TikTok to promote products. And in return, Gen X can share experiences about building long-term customer relationships. Work, family. A millennial child can guide Gen X parents on how to use online banking apps or modern communication tools. And parents can share career stories, lessons about perseverance, concrete action, proactively seek opportunities to be mentored or mentee by someone from a different generation. Don't be afraid to ask questions and share your knowledge. Encourage intergenerational collaboration, activities at work or in community projects. Finally, the role model, which is being the change, spreading connection in the community. This conversation is not just for you, but also a call for you to become an ambassador for multi-generational connection. When you actively break down stereotypes and build bridges, you will inspire those around you. Why is this important? Because a small action by an individual can create a large ripple effect. When you are the first to open up, you will encourage others to follow suit, creating a more open and inclusive environment. For example, a Gen Z shares a positive post about intergenerational understanding on social media. A millennial organizes a generation-agnostic gathering at work. A Gen X proactively talks to younger colleagues about non-work-related issues. Work, family. In the family, be the one who proactively organizes activities that all generations can participate in and enjoy. In the workplace, be an advocate for generational diversity and inclusion in discussions and decision-making. Concrete action. Start with small daily interactions. Smile and greet people from other generations. Initiate conversations. Participate in community activities where multiple generations are involved. Be a role model of respect and openness. Fueling intergenerational connection. Nutrition supporting empathy, communication, and bridge-building energy. A healthy body and a clear mind are prerequisites for us to communicate effectively. Listen empathetically, and maintain the patience needed when overcoming generational barriers. Nutrition is not a magic pill, but it supports brain function, stabilizes mood, and provides energy for you to be an effective connection ambassador. Eating to elevate communication and understanding. Foods that nourish wisdom and openness. Focus on easily accessible, easy to prepare foods that fit a busy lifestyle so you always have the best energy and mindset for intergenerational conversations. supporting memory and concentration to listen to stories from other generations and remember important details. Omega-3 fatty acids, essential for brain function, improving concentration, memory, and mood regulation, helps you stay calm and clear when facing different viewpoints. Sources: salmon, sardines, walnuts, chia seeds, flax seeds. Mechanism: key component of brain cell membranes. Supports nerve signal transmission. Small tip: add a portion of salmon to your dinner or snack on a handful of walnuts. B-complex vitamins, important for energy production and nervous system function. Especially B6, B9, folate, and B12, helping reduce fatigue, improve mood, and enhance the ability to cope with stress in complex conversations. Sources: whole grains, lean meats, eggs, dark leafy greens. Mechanism: involved in neurotransmitter metabolism. Small tip: choose whole wheat bread over white bread, or add spinach to your morning scrambled eggs. Antioxidants: protect brain cells from damage, supporting overall cognitive function and mental flexibility, helping you be more open to new ideas from other generations. Sources: berries, blueberries, strawberries, colorful vegetables, bell peppers, carrots, broccoli, dark chocolate. Mechanism: neutralize free radicals, reduce oxidative stress. Small tip: eat a bowl of berries mixed with yogurt or add various vegetables to your daily meals. Protein: provides amino acids that are precursors to neurotransmitters that help maintain alertness, concentration, and clear thinking, crucial when you need to listen and respond in intergenerational dialogues. Sources: chicken, fish, beans, lentils, eggs, tofu. Mechanism: builds and repairs nerve cells. Small tip: prepare protein-rich meals like chicken salad or lentil soup. Magnesium: helps relax nerves and muscles, reducing stress and anxiety, allowing you to approach intergenerational conversations with a calmer and more open mindset. Sources: pumpkin seeds, almonds, avocado, dark chocolate, dark leafy greens. Mechanism: involved in over 300 enzymatic reactions in the body, including those related to brain function and relaxation. Small tip: snack on a handful of almonds or add avocado to your salad. Nutritional advice and warnings: nutrition is a supportive factor for mental health and communication skills, but it cannot replace active effort in breaking down stereotypes and building bridges. If you or your loved ones are experiencing significant mental health difficulties or severe communication issues, seek help from a psychologist or doctor. Always consult a doctor or registered dietitian before making significant dietary changes, especially if you have underlying health conditions. Before watching this video, perhaps you felt confused, frustrated, or even a bit annoyed by stereotypes about other generations. Maybe you found it difficult to communicate with a Gen X boss, or couldn't understand your Gen Z niece's language, feeling a gap that was hard to bridge. Sometimes even disappointed to see conversations interrupted by unnecessary differences. But after exploring these secrets, you'll feel empowered, feel more confident stepping into intergenerational conversations. You'll realize that stereotypes are just walls we build ourselves, and they can absolutely be torn down. You'll feel more empathetic, more understanding of people from other generations, and most importantly, you'll feel more hopeful about building strong, meaningful relationships. not just at work but within your own family. The elders say, learning from teachers is good, but learning from friends is better. And learning from children is best. Meaning every generation has something to teach. No one knows everything. Our grandparents often taught, young lean on parents, old lean on children, emphasizing the interdependence and mutual support between generations in family and society. There's a proverb that says, close to ink, one turns black, close to light, one turns bright, but it can also be understood that being close and exposed to different perspectives will help us broaden our thinking and become wiser. Bringing it all together, intergenerational connection is strength. Understanding General Z Millennials, and General X breaking down false stereotypes. Actively communicating with respect and genuine listening. Finding common values and goals. And being willing to learn from each other are essential steps to building a world where generations can coexist, grow together, and together create great value. This is especially true in the diverse and dynamic context of the U.S., where intergenerational collaboration is not just an option but a vital factor for progress. Specific actions to learn from or be cautious about. To learn, proactively ask someone from a different generation for their perspective on a specific issue, or about their life experiences. Participate in mentorship programs, both as a mentor and a mentee. Learn how to use new technology platforms that younger generations use, e.g. TikTok, Discord. Take time to watch TV shows or listen to music that other generations enjoy to understand their culture better. To be cautious. Be wary of general stereotypes on social media or from friends that lack factual basis. Avoid assuming that someone from a particular generation will have the same thoughts or behaviors. Don't be afraid to admit when you don't understand something and ask for clarification. Don't let small misunderstandings accumulate into resentment or disrespect. Remember, generational diversity is an asset, not a burden. Be the first to open up and start the conversation. Seek common ground, but also cherish differences. That's what makes each generation unique. Remember, the elders say, a morsel when hungry is worth a bundle when full. One word of understanding, one timely gesture of connection is worth far more than countless unfounded judgments. Dear friends, our world is changing rapidly, and learning how to connect between generations is key to overcoming challenges together and building a better future. Don't let old stereotypes prevent you from experiencing the richness and value that each generation brings. Don't hesitate to share your experiences about connecting with other generations in the comments section below. Or do you have any questions about this topic? Our community is here to learn and support each other. And if you found this video helpful and want to discover more secrets to building a fulfilling, happy life, and amazing relationships, don't forget to hit the like button. Share this video with those you think might need it, and especially subscribe to my channel today. Thank you for watching. Goodbye, and I'll see you in the next videos.